What's up, YouTube? The Rain Man here. In this video, we'll be talking about the new secret dungeon that Comdos is going to be running this weekend, which is going to be the Water Mummy. As always, I always advise farming at least enough pieces for one. This one, I was just farming multiple monsters of this one, and I'll go into details for that in a minute. As always, you can find me in channel 2365 on the global server. Also, you can see a link to my Sora farm page in the description below. So, onto the monster. So, the secret dungeon is going to be running from June 2nd at 12 p.m. Until June 5th at 12 a.m. Of course, this is according to the server time for global Asia and Europe. So, gathering pieces to summon a 3-star water mummy. As usual, you can find the secret dungeon within the Chaos dungeons, just like you find all the secret dungeons. There are 10 waves or 10 stages to the secret dungeons. You need 40 pieces to summon the monster. If you actually can complete wave 4, you're guaranteed 1 piece. If you complete wave 5, you're guaranteed 1 piece with a chance of getting 2. If you complete wave 6, you're guaranteed 2 pieces. If you can complete wave 7, you're guaranteed 2 pieces with a chance of getting 3. If you can complete wave 8, you're guaranteed 3 pieces. If you can complete wave 9, you're guaranteed 3 pieces along with a chance of getting a 4th piece. If you complete all 10 waves, you get 4 pieces every time. So, running this, so if you can complete all 10 waves, run the floor 10 times, you got enough pieces to summon 1. At 5 energy a pop, that's 50 energy. So, not too bad for getting having a 3-star monster available. Of course, as usual, the monster pieces don't count towards any of the 3-star summons for most of the events. As far as I know, all the events, as far as I know, I don't recall any of the events counting the summons, but it's kind of the summoning pieces. So, but like I said, this monster is. This is, like I said, usually, some always get enough pieces to get 1. Whether it's Secret Dungeon or the Hall of Heroes, I always suggest getting enough pieces to summon 1. You may not need that monster, or you may not have a use for that monster, or the monster may actually just be a junk monster. It's just a fodder. The Water Mummy, not so much. The Water Mummy is actually probably going to be quite useful. For one, we'll go into his, pull him up here, we'll go look at his skills real quick here. The Water Mummy. So his first skill, attacks the enemy 2 times with a chance of having a 20% chance to inflict continuous damage for 1 turn. The damage of this attack is increased according to your max HP. So he's got a chance to dot, he's got a 1 turn dot on his first move, and the attack is based on his HP. Second skill, attacks all enemies and disrupts their HP recovery for 2 turns with a 75% chance. The damage of this attack will increase according to your max HP. So now you have an AoE attack that is actually HP based. So the higher your HP, the more damage you're going to be doing. Now the heal block is not a great buff, not a great debuff for the enemy, unless there's a lot of healers or there's a significant healer. Of course, if they have a Jasoon, her balance ignores the heal block. I think there's a couple other balance healers that will ignore the heal block whenever they balance the HP. So, his third skill is actually a passive, Frozen Body. Every attack has a 35% chance to freeze the enemy for 1 turn. So this guy's got a built-in crowd control. So he can freeze with his first skill, so he can freeze 1 monster with his first skill, or freeze the entire group with his second skill. And with it being a 35% chance, it's actually a higher chance than Despair Runes. Despair Runes have a 25% chance to stun. So this guy's actually has a better chance to freeze a monster than he does than Despair Runes do. So he's actually got a built-in crowd control passive. So which makes him, it could be good for TOA. Could be useful for giants. Quite possibly even dragons. Because it does dot. It's only a 1-turn dot. But unless you can get the crystals slowed down, 1 turn is all you're gonna really need to. 1 turn is all you're gonna really get out of the dots. So you can get 5 or 6 dots on him. There's a good chance you're only gonna get 1 turn out of him. So it doesn't matter if it's a 1 turn or a 17 turn dot. The crystal for dragon is gonna cleanse him and then put immunity on him. So you only get 1 turn out of the dots anyway. So it could be useful in dragons. Now his passive, his second skill, along with his passive, could help to freeze crystals and the dragons or the golems and giants. So it could be help freeze crystals and dragon. I don't know if you can freeze the Zaros mini boss in dragons. I think you can. No, I tell you, I don't think you can. So I don't think he can be disabled. So the stuns, sleeps, and freezes aren't going to work against the mini boss. But it will help on the crystals. So let's say it could be useful there. Let's say he's HP based, so he's not going to be he's not going to need a lot of attack. Just a lot of HP. So Swift and Energy runes are going to be good for him more than likely. In fact, he's got that passive that's going to make him useful for TOA as well. So if you need a crowd control unit, this guy's not a bad choice. He's not the best choice, but he's not a bad choice either. So that he is HP based. So he's going to be hitting. He's going to have decent hits. At least in TOA, he'll have some decent hits. Plus, he's got a dot. And there's a group of healers like stages with Reyna, with the Epicon Priest, or stages with some of the Sky Dancers. Of course, if it's Jasoon, not going to help out a whole lot, but in the stages with the Water or Fire Sky Dancer, he's going to be pretty helpful there. So I said with that AoE heal block, help keep them from healing too much. So I say he's got some uses. He's not useless like some of the 3-star secret dungeons are. So, but he's got some use. Of course, there's always much better monsters than him for what you're gonna be using for, like TOA or for Arena. Like I said, in Arena he could be helpful there as well. But there's much better monsters than this one. But if you don't have those much better monsters, this is not a bad one to get a hold of and to be using for that. Like I said, he's got a built-in crowd control. His 2 attacks are both HP based attacks, so the higher his HP, the stronger he's going to hit. The fact that he is a water monster, if you use him in arena or guild battles, he's going to be subject to Lucian attacks. Because like I said, Lucian's got that AoE ignore defense attack, so he's subject to the Lucian attacks. Outside of TOA and Fusion, he's pretty much a niche offense monster. I wouldn't really advise him as being used as a defense monster, because I said he is subject to Lucian attacks. So, so he's not going to be real helpful there. But like I mentioned, Fusion. Like I said earlier, as with all secret dungeons, farm the pieces to get 1. You don't have to summon those pieces right now. You can save those for later. But as for this one, I advise getting multiples for this guy. Definitely get you several of them, and here is why. He's actually a fusion monster. You actually need him for the Water Horse. So, for one, the Water Horse is not a bad monster to actually fuse. If you've actually fused a Katarina, the Water Horse is actually good. I think the Water Horse is can we see? No, I can't. All right. See if mine's actually out. The Water Horse is actually useful for. There he is. No, wrong one. His third skill increases the attack power and crit rate of all allies for 2 turns, and makes the designated target invincible for 1 turn. Now you make Katarina invincible, and her third skill attacks randomly. The enemy's defense is ignored when used in invincible state. So Katarina's got so use that third skill on Katarina, and Katarina's third skill will ignore defense. Now, she's already a wind attacker, so she's basically going to be used for arena or guild battles. Whenever you do Fuser, that's generally the time frame to Fuser. Excuse me. Is for that. So she's got that ignore defense when she's got invincible on. When she's got an invincible state. Her second skill does create an invincible state as well, so you could, in general, keep her invincible for a good chunk of time, for a good portion of the match if need be. Let's say you need use the water horse. Now the water horse is also required for the panda fusion. So I said there's that right there. So you're going to need you're going to need one for fusing the water horse. To keep one to fuse the water horse for a fusion of the panda, and definitely keep another one. So that's going to be 3 of them. I advise getting 3 of them, at least 3. Like I said, you need one for fusing one water horse to keep, a fusing a water horse for the fusing panda, and the third one, whenever let me just close that out. Okay, whenever the fire panda came out, one of the monsters required for it was where's that? Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, so for the fire panda, one of the monsters required was the Wind Charger Shark. Just before the Fire Panda fusion came out, the Wind Charger Shark was there like the weekend or two before. So Contos may be giving us a heads up as to what's going to be required for the new light fusion. Maybe. I'm guessing here. I'm just speculating. Because like I said, before the Fire Panda fusion came out, we got a Wind Charger Shark secret dungeon. And the reason why I'm even speculating on that is actually because of, as with most of these fusions, there's another monster that's used with another fusion. The fire succubus over here is actually part of, I think it's, the Vermis fusion. Well, another monster that's used with the Vermis fusion is Makeen, which is also used for Katarina fusion. And the Katarina fusion also has the Wind Ninetales, which is also used in the Phoenix fusion. So, the Phoenix fusion and Panda fusion both only have one monster that is shared with the other fusion monsters. Katarina and Vermos both have 2. So, I think it's safe to speculate that one of these monsters is going to have a shared monster with the light fusion. There's a chance that that light fusion monster may actually share a monster with both of these. So we know the Wind Ninetales is already used. So there's a Fire Joker, and the Water Ninja is not shared with anybody. With the Fire Panda, the Wind Kung Fu Girl and the Water Horse are not shared with any other fusions. So there's a good chance that the Water Horse has a 1 in 4 chance of being included with the light fusion monster that's coming. And that's not a rumor, that's actually been announced that there is a light fusion monster coming. What it is, no one really knows except for maybe come to us, but we do know that it is coming. And the fact that we have a Water Mummy secret dungeon that is used for a fusion monster, I think it's safe to say it's a safe bet. Well, I wouldn't say it's a safe bet, but it's. I feel pretty confident in saying that there's a good chance that the Water Horse is going to be used for the light fusion. So definitely get at least 120 pieces of the Water Mummy. I said that gives you 1 to fuse a Water Horse to keep, 1 to fuse a Water Horse for the Panda if you've not already got either one of those yet. And it also gives you a Water Mummy to save in case that the Water Horse is used for the light fusion. So there's definitely reason to farm this monster. Definitely get you a few pieces. If you don't already have a water horse, you don't already have the fire panda, that's two I advise getting. Definitely. So I mean that's 80 pieces that you will need to farm for that alone. And like I said, the Wind Charger Shark secret dungeon came available shortly before the Fire Panda fusion was made available to us. So I feel pretty confident in saying that, like I said, there's a good chance the Water Horse is going to be used for the light fusion that could be coming soon, or it may be, another month or so down the road. But like I said, the light fusion is announced, and we just don't know what it is or what's going to be used for it. But considering that when the Fire Panda came out, Wind Charger Shark was available just before so I think it's safe. So like I said, get you that water mummy. Definitely farm it. Get you a few pieces of it. So you've got, or get you a couple monsters, get you enough pieces to summon a few of them, because it's definitely going to be useful. Like I said, if nothing else, for fusions. So, but there you go. Hope that's helpful. As for the secret dungeon, if you're going to be farming the secret dungeon, any kind of AoE attackers are going to be probably good. If you've got a Sig fused, he'll be great for this. If say give you HP lead in the dungeon, because I know for me personally, mine's going to be a lot of attackers. But again, of course, I'm pretty far into I wouldn't say I'm late game, but I'm probably a little higher than mid game. So I've got plenty of AoE attackers that I can use. So, but like I said, you're going to want probably wind monsters. Julian might not be a bad idea for this one. Like I said, he has a built-in crowd control as well. The wind phantom thief. He's also built kind of high attack level. Plus his built-in, like I said, his built-in crowd control. If you have a Lucian, definitely, like I said before, the water mummy is subject to Lucian attacks. So I wouldn't advise it as an arena defense, or as an arena or guild defense. So if you got Lucian, take him into the secret dungeon. Definitely is going to help you out there. So pretty much any monsters that you have plenty of good AoE attacks for wind, water, light, or dark will be useful in there. Of course, taking a healer. If you have any wind, water, light, or dark monsters that actually do dots, consider these monsters are HP based attacks. They're probably going to have some good HP on them as they get higher up into the waves. So dotting them is definitely not a bad idea. So, but I hope that helps out. Good luck in getting your monsters, and crossing our fingers that the water mummy is going to be used for the water horse. To take that back, crossing our fingers that the water horse is part of the light fusion, and this is kind of a little hint from come to us that the water horse is going to be needed for the light fusion monster. So crossing our fingers that that's what that is, and not just a coincidence. So, but shop's reset here, so we'll look at that real quick. See if I got anything decent out of here. Nope, not a thing. So, alright, so if you like the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And until next time, have fun. Later.